sauce on it. Time to get saucy.
I'm dripping this sauce, yeah. Oh.
This is probably better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
I OD neglected the sea moss. Fuck you, sea moss, I gotta make pizza. Damn, why we don't got a background music?
Oh yeah, I don't know why that shit stopped playing.
Oh yeah, that happens. So what we have here is homemade pizza. As you can see, some whole wheat organic flour. They say it's America's best baking flour. We'll find out. But you can make bread, brownies, muffins, cookies, pancakes, rolls, buns, bagels, and pizza crust. Yeah, so we chose pizza crust. This is after 24 hours of sitting in the fridge, being prepped with nutritional yeast, some dark brown sugar. I guess that's really where the color's coming from. There was some research done to figure out the appropriate ingredients and the appropriate process. Because previously I just went out on a limb, tried from eternal ways, like just internal desire, like I want this, I want that, bake it, eat it, did not work. The components that sugar and yeast have are essential to a proper, what the world is accustomed to, pizza crust. But I was searching for that too, so I had to find out how it's really done, and it's done with sugar and yeast. So, but I used a dark brown sugar, which is why we're getting this darker color in the pizza crust. So let's see how that tastes too, because I guess if you use regular granulated sugar or that like white processed sugar, you probably get a different taste. This is probably gonna taste way awesome. Not probably, it's gonna taste way better. It's gonna taste way better. All right, so we have our sauce on there. Pizza crust is good. Now we need to get our toppings. Let's see what's in the kitchen. Let's see what's in here. What's in here? Cauliflower and broccoli rice. That's awesome. All they did was shred the cauliflower and broccoli to like a dicey minimum stage. And then we got some fresh vegetables. We have some, they call it a fajita blend. I'm not making a fajita. I'm making a pizza. White onions, green peppers, red peppers. I'm making this pizza. I need artichokes. Got some artichoke hearts. I love the marinating here. It's delicious. Artichoke hearts by themselves, I'm not readily familiar with the flavor, the taste, or the texture, but however they did this, good job, Kirkland, aka Costco's. What else we got going on in here? Do we want anything else? Yes, we do. What's a pizza without cheese? Not a pizza. I'm not sure you pronounce this. Miyoko. Same difference if you don't say it the right way. This has filtered water, coconut oil, cashews, tapioca, arga, sea salt, and yeah, it contains cashews and coconut. I understand that. So we're going to use this last, so we're going to put some of the, let's see, what should we do first? Is there any other toppings we might want on here? Oh, look, there's red onions too. I'm a fan of red onions. Let me get a piece of red onion. I would like just a quarter of this. Here's my knife here. Let me take a minute to wash that off. Because I'm going to practice a little bit of consideration here. This is a decent sized pizza. I think I only want to make half exactly how I want it, then the other half maybe without the artichokes. Not everybody's an artichoke fan. So I'm going to take a half of this red onion here. And then maybe somebody might want that other half. Let's get up in here and start putting stuff on here. This broccoli vegetable rice looks good to start with, just to coat the whole pizza with. Let's get that. And this looks like cheese, but it's not cheese. It's just broccoli and cauliflower. So I'm gonna do that like that. Get that like that. Alright. That looks pretty good. That's pretty good. This is a decent amount of bread. I'm pretty sure it's gonna rise because, like I said, there's nutritional yeast in here. And too much of anything is bad, but make sure that you keep the things that have to be in seldom consumption at a seldom level. Do not be eating pizza every day. That looks like enough. Let's not overdo it. Let's make sure the other components of the pizza have a chance to, you know, be on there as well. So how should we do these slices? I want to do some nice dice slices, because with every bite you don't want to be, you know, having pieces fall out your mouth. You want to have everything in your mouth and be able to chew them together. So do some nice dice slices of red onions right now. And if you know you're going to do this in advance, it's always nice to like try to prep all this stuff. I fake rushed to do all this. Not entirely. There was prep work done with the pizza crust. So that was ready when I came in, but I didn't take enough time to thoroughly think what my toppings were going to be. Most of these toppings were acquired for the goal of making a pizza, so that's why this was chosen. As you can see, everything is already pre-cut and everything. I might give it a little more cuts so that way, like I said, I personally don't want big slices of peppers on my pizza. I want to be able to take a bite and chew everything collectively. Other people are different. However you want to make your pizza, you make your pizza how you want it. So here we go. Now I got some red onions. I'll put the red onions around here. Red onions are very nice. And like I said, I love these artichokes. So I'm going to make one side heavily with artichokes, and I'm just going to leave the other side vegetable-y to be considered by other people maybe wanting to try the pizza. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That looks nice. That looks nice. Let's get the other one on here because we want a nice vegetable pizza. Don't jip people on the health. Health is wealth. If you got it, give it to them. And in this case, we got it. Everything is free right now. Free information, free content, free entertainment. Alright, there we go. Make sure you get the edges real nice. Boom, boom. Now we get in there. And now, these artichokes, they're marinated, so they're very, very frail. And let me take a fork and rinse this off real quick. Take pieces of artichoke out of here. Like I said, they're very, very frail. So as you go to press it, literally just it comes apart. So like I said, I only want to do this on half because I know I'm a big fan of artichokes. So we're gonna do on half. Other pizza, we're gonna put some pieces of artichoke. Artichoke pizza. I'm trying to visually make a line with the artichoke so I don't go too far over the crust. And I would eat one right now, but I'm trying to practice proper health code standards. I probably shouldn't be talking this much over the pizza. However, everybody in here, we'll be all right. I'm not spitting or nothing. But yeah, we're doing this for the knowledge. Doing this for the knowledge. All right, that should be enough artichoke. I don't want to overdo it. And besides, if afterwards I can always put artichoke on my slice of pizza. I don't have to do OD. Alright, so now we need some white onions as well. Let's get in here and do a little extra slicing. Oh, let me be mindful. I touched all the artichoke with that. Let me put on another glove that I was using to cut and make the pizza. As you can see, it still has the turmeric from when I was operating before, so I just don't want everybody maybe tasting the same thing I'm tasting. So let's get this diced up a little bit more. This all over the pizza. Give me some more of those, please. Got white onions and red onions. This is gonna be packed with flavor because not only is there onion powder in the sauce, now there's real raw onions on the pizza, so you're gonna get a nice crunch and extraordinary flavor. Saying extraordinary flavor. And then so we have the oven set at 400 degrees. When I went to go do some research on this, the gentleman that was on the tube he had set his oven at 450 degrees, and he had explained that that was only an 8-minute cook. So be mindful now, at 450 degrees, if that was only 8 minutes to cook, we are at 50 degrees less. So obviously if there's less heat, that's going to require more time. I don't know the exact calculations, however, I'm going to take a guesstimation and say that since I'm 50 degrees below where he cooked his pizza at, I'm probably going to need at least 5 to 6, possibly 7 more minutes to thoroughly, obviously, cook. The only thing that needs to cook right now is the pie crust. So everything else can be eaten raw, but we want the pie crust to be able to be cooked thoroughly so we can enjoy it, and that the yeast doesn't mess with our stomachs. So like I said, we're at 400 degrees, 50 degrees cooler than what was explained on the internet. So we're going to increase the 8-minute recommendation to about at least 12, 13 minutes. We're going to check it at the 12-minute mark, see how brown the edges are. Be mindful too that all of this that I'm putting on there is cold, so obviously the heat won't get through the top as easily. The bottom, however, should be experiencing some extreme heat. The oven's already preheated, so there shouldn't be much problem and or dilemma making sure that the pie crust gets cooked. Alright, let's spread this out a little bit. Surface area is key too. If you got stuff piled on top of itself, the heat won't be able to get through easily. So just take time to maybe just pat everything down so that way the heat can evenly touch everything to the pie. And now I believe a majority of our toppings are on there already. This cheese here is fascinating just for the sheer fact of how, I guess, fragile I can say. I want to use the word fragile. Watch this. I'm going to take a quarter piece of the vegan cheese that anybody can make with water, coconut oil, tapioca, and cashews, and just a little bit of patience. I'm going to cut it because, like I said, it's very fragile. Now, I'm going to take this thin slice, and I can literally just press this cheese and it'll crumble. So, depending on, what your regimen is, how your lifestyle is, this is just, I'm just crumbling this cheese on here. I had the chance to experiment with this cheese yesterday. I crumbled this cheese on top of some whole grain bread, and it melted very, very nicely. It didn't melt profusely. It wasn't like dripping all over the bread, but it did definitely soak up some heat. Every bite was very, very warm, nice and tasty. The cheese did not lose any of its flavor. This is a very nice item to have in your kitchen if you are trying to transition over to more healthy alternatives. I understand that dairy is probably one of the hardest things to come off of. People love cheese and crackers. They love their milk and cookies. Yogurt is overly marketed to the youth, so they grow up just fiending yogurt and other kind of dairy items as such. So if you can either get to Whole Foods, shout out to Amazon, they bought that shit, and get you some vegan cheese, then you're heading in the right direction. This stuff is really, really nice. And that seems to be the whole quarter. Trying to be mindful with the portions. You don't necessarily always have to have it, you don't have to overdo it. Just you want some flavor on here. You want some flavor. The nutritional value is in here. Like I said, cashews, coconut. I'm not sure how well tapioca is, but it's definitely better than cow milk and all the other stuff. And now that we have all our seasonings on there, all our toppings, we can place this in the oven. For, like I said, remember we're cooking at 400 degrees, so we gotta let this cook. And I think we could put this on the bottom one. As we know, hot air rises, so let's just make sure we get this right there in the middle. Pink! Yeah! Alright. making pizza. We'll be right back to show you the aftermath and how the bacon is coming through. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the kitchen, la cocina. Para all mis personas es español. I can't talk Spanish that well, but I will work on it. Back to this pizza. So this is the aftermath. Like I told you guys, it was at 400 degrees. We allowed it to cook for a full 15 minutes. As you can see, there's some nice rising going on here on the sides. I personally believe that maybe I might have rolled it out a little too much, and the equilibrium is slightly off. As you can see, it's really thin right here, so there's not much rising going on. And then I just want to rotate it back this way a little bit more. As you can see, it's nice and fluffy right there. The crust really started rising a little bit more. This might be also to the fact that a lot of the moisture is in the middle of the pie crust. So over here it's nice and dry. I had a better chance to rise and really absorb the heat, which I was talking about before. All the items and in the center of the pizza added moisture back to it. So it might have been quite difficult for the heat to really get through there and heat everything up. However, since the pie crust here is nice, I can actually lift it up quite a bit. And you can see the integrity of the pie is still together. There's nothing falling through the middle. This pie crust came out pretty well. And then obviously on our next venture, we are going to try and even out the pie crust as perfectly as possible. But you guys are back now, so we wanted you to see the cutting process. Luckily for us, we had a pizza cutter on deck in the premises. So I'm going to look first to see where my half of the artichoke was, and it's on this side. So I'm going to start right here and bring the cutter straight up as possible. And make sure that everything stays in line. And bam! Hold up. Let me get over there. Oh, wow. Look at that. Got all the way through. But get up there. There we go. Wow. Nice. Nice even cut. We were making an attempt for a thin crust pizza. Now if anybody out there prefers a more deeper, thicker crust, you can always refrain from kneading as much. What I did was I took the rolling pin here and did some excessive rolling. Like I said, we were targeting a more thin pizza crust. So we did a lot of rolling. We made sure that it was as thin as possible before baking so that there wouldn't be much rising. But as you can see, this is a very, very thin pizza crust. I personally believe a thin pizza crust allows for more flavor. However, if you're trying to fill yourself up or you want to maybe make one slice a meal, then obviously you need a thicker crust. That way the bread will be more of the bulk of your meal. But nonetheless, it's up to you. Make your pizza how you want. We got a nice thin veggie pizza going on here, and if you don't mind, I think I'm gonna take me a slice just to let you guys see my reaction with the flavor. Obviously I'm gonna go for the artichoke side just because I need artichoke in my life, and let's see how durable this piece is just from me picking it up. See if it withstands the oh wow.
Haha.
So as you can see there, the crust is holding up to the weight of everything here. Now I can feel it already starting to fall. I'm going to use my other hand here to just keep it up, make sure that you guys can see that this is a nice slice of pizza. You know, we did our best following the guidelines and the recipe to make sure that it's good. I'm going to take a bite now, see what's going on here. That's pizza. The dough is very faint. I can't taste the sugar as much as I thought I would have tasted it. The texture is amazing. The sauce actually moisturized the dough enough so it wasn't too dried out. And like I said, we put seasonings in the sauce already, so all the other flavor comes from the whole vegetables that were just diced up. The vegan cheese on here is very nice and lovely, and it's a nice pie. We did a good job. We did a very good job today. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you taking the time to watch our journey, and we'll have more to come. Enjoy your day and keep up the hard work, guys. Pizza!